Hello everyone, Vickieverlie here, the rock and roll prophetess. I thought I'd go ahead and give a mid-month a try. I can't guarantee I'm going to do it every month, but I thought I'd pop in and just go ahead and finished up all my year ahead readings. Thanks to everybody who ordered the year ahead readings, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and throw up a mid-month tarot for everybody. This is just going to be a brief kind of little mini update for all signs. I don't go into all the astrology. I'm not going to. If you want to go back to the January, watch the beginning of the month for more on the astrology. And one of the big things that is happening, though, for everybody in the second half of January, on the 20th, we're going to have that big Pluto move into Aquarius. And I actually did a whole video on that several months back. And that does go into all 12 signs there, too. So if you want to check that out, you can check out my channel. I'll put the video link at the end of the video. I also wanted to just pop in and let everybody know that I am going to start offering the soul images, the soul paintings. It's a look. We don't know what's going to come out. It's channeling art is what it is. I'll start by writing down like your name and your birthday and maybe some light language, and we're going to do layers and layers, and then we're going to allow the image to emerge from the canvas. Okay? And we don't always know what that's going to be. I certainly don't. It's a channeling of art. So if you wanted to have it might be a spirit guide, it might be your higher self, it might be a picture of you as you prefer to be seen in your soul energy. So yeah, I'm going to be offering it. You can find the link on my website if any of you want to get into ordering that. And without further ado, let's move on to our mid-month January, and we're going to start with the sign of Aries, and we're going to do 3 cards for Aries for the mid-month of 2024 January. We've got Ace of Swords, the Empress, and the Chariot. Well, it's interesting to me that the Chariot and the Empress, this is the card for the sign of Cancer, which is the mother, and then the Empress is also the card for motherhood or pregnancy and stuff like that. But the Empress is also just this major card of being in major abundance, feeling really in harvest. So many of you are going to be having this big breakthrough, perhaps, and it's going to lead to abundance. If some out there may have been trying to conceive, maybe this could be the time when you finally, do conceive. But whatever it is, the Empress brings this abundance, and Chariot brings this highest form of success, big time success, big time moving to the next level. With the Ace of Swords, it's a major breakthrough. I feel like they're showing me like stepping up the ladder of success in whatever you're endeavoring to do. It just could be anything. It's just going to be different for everybody. But these are some really great cards. I also want to note that there's 2 major arcana cards here, so we could be talking about some higher forces beyond you're making your effort, Aries. You're doing your thing, but also the universe is responding in kind, and you're co-creating with the universe for sure. But big success and fruitful abundance. Awesome. All right, next let's move over to the sign of Taurus. This is going to be our Taurus mid-month of January of 2024. I almost said 2022 of all things. You're in the mix, and Uranus is going to go direct in your sign on the 27th. Again, you might want to dial back to that original January video for a little bit more in depth on that kind of stuff. Let's just get our 3 cards here for Taurus. For mid-month January, we have the King of Swords, followed by the Queen of Swords, followed by the Page of Swords. Well, the gang is all here, aren't they? Only one missing is the Knight of Swords. Well, we're looking at some sword energy, which is the air energy, and that Pluto going into Aquarius is taking in the Sun on the 20th. This is definitely air energy. I want to say some of you, now this is not your element, your earth sign, okay? So these are probably not you. But I almost want to say the way these are all showing out together like this, I almost want to say like maybe this is a family. Sure seems like it, right? The father, the mother, and the kid, right? So, I mean, it could be stuff going on in your own family, but it also could just be stuff going on with a family. Maybe you're doing some other kind of thing. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. I was going to let you know real quick the air sign moons we're going to have is later on the 20th, after that whole shebang, we're going to have the Gemini. So then this is a big air sign date. Moon goes into Gemini, and then on the 21st, we also, and part of the 22nd, we're going to have air energy. And then the very last days, the 30th and 31st. And by the way, if you like the astrology, I do that weekly astrology and tarot on Patreon where we do break it down like that. But dealing with some air sign energy, I feel good stuff. I feel like moving forward. I feel like this, because for some, this is the initial contact, and then this is what follows. You know, this might be like you're interviewing or you're getting the loan, and then this is the work that's being done after. This is what follows after the initial turning point, the initial decision, or something like that. But you've got people around. You've got help out there for sure, Taurus, okay? Don't forget about the soul reading, the soul portrait. If you'd like to get out on that, you can find the details below. Okay, Gemini. Well, you know, we're moving into that air sign energy. You know, again, watch the original video of January to get more in depth about some astrology insights. And I also have the Patreon with the astrology and tarot. But this is just going to be a brief update. 3 cards for our Gemini friends. 1, 2, 3. 10 of Rods. Some of you, your light is really shining, okay? Your light is really shining with that sun energy. You're really glowing. And it feels like somebody notices you, even though she's not looking. It seems like she's looking away, but they notice you and they say, okay, we're going to bring you on board, Gemini. We want you. We want to work with you. We want to give you that job, and we want to give you that gig. It feels like you're biting off a pretty big chunk here. You know, it feels like there will be a lot of work perhaps involved in this, but you are totally with the sun energy. I just noticed this a little crooked, huh? With the sun energy, you know, you're totally down for the task. You're totally up for it. You're going to have the energy and the vitality to carry through and be able to accomplish this or anything you set your mind to. And that's your big thing anyway, right? You set your mental, you set your mind to things. Also, at the first of the month, the Mercury went retrograde, your ruling sign, and by this time, by mid-month, it's out of the shadow. So just when it goes retrograde direct, it doesn't always when you really feel that boost. But once it gets out of the shadow, by the second half of the month, it will be out of the shadow. So things are just rolling right along for you. Okay, let's move on next to the sign of Cancer. Again, if you guys like this, you want more of this type of reading with astrology and tarot, there's the Patreon weekly for all 12 signs. But this is going to be our mid-month update for our Cancer friends for January. 6 of Rods. Boy, that card was wanting to jump. It was wanting to come out. Oh, go ahead and jump. Might as well jump. Yeah, might as well jump. Well, this is you, by the way. Regardless of gender, this is you, the water sign person, sitting in your glory, sitting in your abundance, you're the king. You know, you're not the knight, the page. You've ascended to this a state of mastery, you could almost say. You know, 6 of Rods is this major victory, triumph, getting these accolades, getting these recognitions. Perhaps you're moving up to being the boss at work, or you're moving up to this king thing. Could be like a real. It could be real, of just like you becoming the person in power, like getting a promotion of some sort, or being the supervisor or something like that. Make sure to take time to get your rest. A lot of the things are happening. It feels like you've reached that pinnacle of success, and now not resting on your laurels, but maybe you just need a little bit of time after all that. You might have been pushing, and now you can breathe too. Because here's another thing, if you're Cancer, Pluto being in Capricorn has been opposing you for a long time. And if you have other planets in Cancer, it's been opposed. Here's Capricorn, here's Cancer, other side. You've been getting nailed with these oppositions, so now it's going to be moving in a different direction. And that could be like a lot of relief for many Cancers. All right, don't forget about the soul portrait if you'd like to get in on that. And maybe even have your soul portrait be included in a future deck at some point. But I don't know when. It's going to take a long time for that to occur. All right, Leo. Let's go on, Leo. Well, you know, your full moon is going on. It's going to be on the 25th, the one only full moon. Again, refer back to the beginning of January video for more details on that. But that's significant for sure. You've got Two of Rods, the Empress. Somebody else had Empress in that same spot, and the World. Wow, 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 Leo. Well, that full moon could really be, with that World, it could really be, something could be blowing up or just coming to full fruition. With the World, it's like it goes beyond what you were striving for. You get everything you were striving for and beyond, even more extra than what you wanted. So it's really fabulous. And then here we have these, the Empress too. Somebody could be pregnant, yeah, but the Empress is just the bounty, being in that harvest mode, having that abundance. And one of the big reasons that you have all this abundance and it's expanding so much is starts over here because you see the way to go. And that full moon in your sign could really illuminate that path for you. The Two of Rods says you see the direction you want to go in, and you're heading down that pathway, and all doors are opening. All right, so thanks so much for tuning in, Leo. Don't forget to check your sun, rising, moon. Don't forget about your full moon on the 25th. If you want to get the soul portrait, you can find that information in this art section of my website. Next, we're going to do Virgo. Well, Virgo, for the second half of the month of January of 24. What is up for Virgo? Don't forget, if you see any words or images on these cards that resonate or stand out to you, those are messages. Eight of Rods, so you're kind of getting in a little stressy, worry place there, Virgo. Page of Rods, ooh, and the Swords. Now, some of you are really stressed out a lot. If you are, and if you aren't, and this doesn't resonate, then for sure check your other rising and moon and all that stuff. But you're worried, and you might be in a mode of catastrophizing. And Virgos, you can do that. I love my Virgos, but you can. I've got a lot of Virgo in my chart. Well, I've got Pluto and Uranus in Virgo, but I've also got my asteroids. I got a whole bunch I got a big stellium, including asteroids over there. I've got a big cluster in my 11th house, and some of it's in the 10th with the Virgo. But other than that, I do feel like this is like a saving grace or something. Like it's probably that full moon in Leo, because this is fire energy. Now that full moon in Leo is going to be on the full moon in Leo is going to be on the 25th of January. And some of you, if you're early Virgo particularly, you may have Leo in your chart too. A lot of times that'll happen. You might have planets in Leo also. But at any rate, if you're down here and you're worried and you got the blindfold on, you won't see this light, okay? So let's not catastrophize. Let's not think everything's going to hell in a handbasket. That's what the guide said. Let's try to look at the bright side, because there's messages and news wanting to come to you, and you're also Mercury ruled, like Gemini. So Mercury went direct on the 1st, yes, at the beginning of the month, but it takes till, I think it's going to be, I don't know, but definitely by the mid-month it's out of the shadow. So you being a Mercury ruled sign, that'll help you a lot, and I feel like a lot of this could be coming down here on this 25th with the full moon in Leo. But there's a solution. Don't keep running in your head the gloom and doom thing, and just being in your head. Look at the outside world. Look at your options, because they're definitely there, and there's a silver lining. That's what the guides just said. There's a silver lining. All right, next we're going to move on to the sign of Libra. Well, Libra, you're in the thick of all of this stuff. I just got through with all the year ahead readings, and you're going to be having all these eclipses in your sign and nodes in your sign. Libras are just really in the thick of a whole bunch of different stuff right now. Let's see. Let's get our 3 cards for our Libra friends. Again, if you want more astrology, you can watch the astrology readings for all, but I also post a astrology and tarot weekly reading on Patreon that goes into astrology and tarot. And let's see what we got here. News is coming in the time of air, so there's your air energy. Well, like I told somebody else, the biggest air day is going to be that 20th, because not only do we have the Sun and Pluto going in Aquarius, but then the Gemini moon. But we'll also have a Gemini moon on the 21st and 22nd, and then the 30th and 31st. The 30th and 31st would be the moon in your sign. That could be relevant. Dealing with a water sign energy. Looks like you guys are looking to collaborate, looking to do something together. Or you might be waiting for a response from a water sign energy. Water signs being Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. You're feeling on guard, you're feeling a little nervous, but bam, it's going to pop. Something's going to pop. You're going to get that conversation, you're going to get that text, you're going to get that message, and bam, it's going to pop, and you're going to have your answer. The answer you've been seeking. So I would say that that's positive, you know, for the most part. But the answer, I think what they meant by that is the answer that you're hoping for. Yeah, that's what they're trying to say. But it is the answer you've been seeking as well. All right, Libra. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you want more astrology and tarot, check out Patreon. If you want to get in a soul portrait, check out the link below. All the art stuff is in the art section of my website, not necessarily the reading section. There's two different things. Okay, let's go on to Scorpio. Well, Scorpio, second half of January, Pluto, your ruling planet, changes signs on the 20th. Again, I talk more about that. Well, I have the whole video on the Pluto. You can find that. I did it a little while back, but it's still relevant. And then I also have the weekly Patreons. And I also, if you look at the beginning of the January, the monthly reading, which is a little bit more in depth, I do go into it a little bit more if you want to find out more about it. But here we go for our 3 cards of Scorpio. The Sun card, beautiful. 10 of Rods, working hard, and the Queen of Cups. Okay. Queen of Cups is you. Regardless of gender, that's going to be you, the water sign person. You're looking at something, you're eyeing it up here. You're looking right at it here. You're looking in your crystal ball, but you're also looking at here. And it's just like somebody else had a similar situation. It's just like it's going to be a ton of work. It seems like it's going to be a lot of work. But this card is not necessarily a lot of work that never ends, you know. In the original Wade Smith deck, you could see the pathway, and he's going to make it to the building. You know, he's on the final stretch of the, you know, of his journey here. But here's the other thing with that Sun energy there. Wow, with that Sun energy, that could really say that you're going to have all the energy and that you need. That's going to fuel you, and you also have the talent, the ability, the creativity, all that stuff to get this, to accomplish these goals. And Scorpio, you're a hard worker too. Everybody's, oh, it's Virgo, but in Capricorn, Scorpios are very hard workers. The other thing about this Sun card, we are going to have that full moon in Leo, and Leo rules over, the Sun rules over Leo, and that's going to be on the 25th. So it could be the 25th, something really culminating. It is a full moon. Something could be really culminating for you. And you could be crossing the finish line, they're saying. Yeah. It's something you've been really working hard on. Alright, next let's move on to the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. Again, if you want to get in on any of the stuff that I offer, you got to go to my website, Patreon, weekly readings, the soul portraits, those are going to be on the website. And if you want more in-depth stuff, go to the January, the full month. I go a little bit more into the astrology, but this is Sagittarius January. News coming in the time of air. Getting that money, 6 of Pentacles, and somebody's making a decision. For some of you, this is going to be that somebody else makes the decision. Like you're waiting for that decision to come through, and then they're going to say, hey, guess what, Sag, you're getting the money, you're getting the loan, you're getting the grant, you're getting the rebate, you're getting the endorsement, the backer, you know, whatever, the gain. But for some others, it could be you're going to get the news, you got the money, and then it's like, okay, what's next? Now I got to make my plan. Now I got to make this decision. Either way, there's a big decision coming up, whether it's through you or another person, that's going to lead to an increase in finances. Could be getting that news in the time of air after the 20th. The day of the 20th is a whole bunch of stuff going on. We've got the Gemini moon, and we've got Pluto, the big, everything shifting to air, so that could be a key time. It's going to be a key time for everybody, but that could be specifically about what's showing up here with you getting that payment information or money. Maybe some of you are getting that, you know, income tax refund or something along those lines. But definitely an increase in finances coming for you this month, Sagittarius, for the second half. Alrighty, well next let's move on to the sign of Capricorn. You guys will have to all let me know too if you like these mid-month readings, so I keep them. We'll see how it goes. If I'm real busy, I don't know that I can necessarily do it every month. I'm not promising anything. Alright, Capricorn. Now we got Capricorn. Pluto's moving out of your sign finally since 2008. For the last 15 plus years it's been in your sign. getting on out the door. And look at this, you got the Fool card. That's perfect. Because the Fool is like, I'm free now. You know, I'm free from these burdens. I'm free from, he's light as a feather. He's number 0. He's going down this new path. He's starting down this new road. We're getting that Pluto goes 0, Aquarius, getting out of your sign. And you're showing us the king. Whether, no matter your gender, when you show us the king, you've come a long way. I said, you've come a long way, baby. That's an old cigarette commercial from back in the day. I think it's even Virginia Slims. You've come a long way, baby, to get where you got to today. I don't know if that's the melody. I don't even remember it. But yeah, because of course smoking cigarettes is so modern and hip, not, you know. But that's was when I was a kid, that's what they showed. Anyways, so you've come a long way, baby. So you've, through the Pluto transit since 2008, you've made a lot of progress. You've moved forward in a lot of things. That says patient, but somebody might be getting a patent too. I know it takes a long time to get a patent. So maybe somebody you're getting your patent, or maybe you're even getting the numbers, because I think you get the number with patent pending. You know, you have to say patent pending in the number. So that's for somebody out there. You've really come up that mountain like in a typical Capricorn, true Capricorn fashion. You've climbed to the top of the mountain. Look out over the sea when you climb the top of the mountain. Look out over the sea. Down, down with the hoochie coochie woman. Down, 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 down. I keep getting that song. It ain't easy. That's Bowie. It ain't easy to get to heaven when you're going down. Bom, bom. Satisfaction. But anyways, enough singing. You might need to take a breather here. It's like, I've climbed to that top of that mountain. I love the view from up here. I feel lighter already. I don't have Pluto on my back anymore. And I'm just like, take that breath. Take that breath. Give yourself a minute here to just congratulate yourself and pat yourself on the back for all that you've accomplished on this long, long journey, Capricorn, because you have done it, okay? And you're a king now. You've grown. You're at a king. You're at the peak performance or the peak expression or whatever of your life. You know, you've really come a long way, baby. I keep wanting me to say that. All right, let's move on to Aquarius. Well, Aquarius, buckle up. Hunker down, buckle up. Whatever you need to do. They're showing me break out the boots. We used to say that, you know, we're going to need boots. It's getting a little deep around here when somebody was just telling a bunch of bullshit, basically. Because you need the big boots to wade through it. That's what they're showing me, those kind of boots that you would wade through like mud in, those big rubber boots that workmen wear. Well, you're going to be knee-deep in Pluto energy before you know it. So it's a transformative time for all Aquarians. Again, if you want to learn more about it, check out, I have a whole video on just Pluto and Aquarius, and then I have, I talk about it in the January full month video a little bit more in depth. But yeah. Some of you might have some recourse. Some of you may have been getting messed with and you're tired of it, you know, or being screwed around or messed with or something. That's what this feels like. And you're just like, I had enough of this already. You may have to enlist the help of the Emperor. That might be somebody in HR. That might be somebody, you might take somebody to court even, or get a restraining order even, or take somebody to court if they've been messing with you, or they owe you money and they're not paying, and maybe you take them to small claims court. The Emperor doesn't necessarily imply legal, like court things, but I am kind of picking that up. The Emperor is definitely, though, somebody who's in charge, you know, in charge of money, in charge of business, in charge of, he or she, they can put a stop to this. Whatever this is, they have it within their power to put a stop to this. So seek out help when when you feel kind of up against the wall or whatever the case may be. Seek out help there, because there's somebody there that in a position of power and authority. You could even be talking to your councilman, or something like that, you know, or your representative, your political, your representative on whatever level, your governor, your councilman, your mayor, you know, somebody like that. All right, let's go ahead and do our Pisces reading. It's going to be a Pisces reading for the second half of January of 2024 for Pisces. All right, let's cut 3 cards for Pisces. 1, 2, 3. Ace of Rods, Ten of Rods and King of Swords. Well, the King of Swords, sometimes they talk about lawyers in the last one a little bit. The King of Swords can be the lawyer, but the King of Swords is, you know, an air sign energy. And this is a big part of the second half of January, as we're moving into that air sign energy on the 20th. Pluto and the Sun, and then we're having a Gemini moon that day. So it could just be talking about as we transition into air, this person's coming in. You know, you got the Ten of Rods right in the middle, and that is, you know, where we're working pretty hard. We're working really hard. We're carrying this heavy load. That says task, and I'm hearing that song, a tisket, dun dun, yellow basket, dun 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 dun. I don't even know if that's the right song. I kind of went off the key a little bit. I mean, I think I went down into another song. But there was a song, a tisket, a tasket, a brown and yellow basket. Say a brown and yellow basket. My grandmother used to sing that to me all the time. Might be Andrew's sisters even. The Andrew's sisters came up in some other reading recently. A private reading, I believe. But anyways. Ace of Rods. Planting those seeds. Doing those new beginnings. On that zero of Pluto. On that day of the 20th. Plant those seeds. Do that stuff. And this is probably referring to that Saturn in your sign. This card always says there's hard work ahead. But the hard work isn't just going to be all the time never ending, you know. It comes to some culmination. And this person definitely feels like stepping in and able to help in some way too. And it almost feels like you're working towards getting to that person, or you're trying to prove yourself to this person, or maybe maybe this is a boss or supervisor and you're coming up for your first year review or something, and it feels like you're willing to put in this work because you care about this. You want this person to see how hard you've worked and see what you've done. And they will. I do feel like this is leading to something. You will get that acknowledgement that you are seeking. Okay, Pisces? All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in again. If you want to get in on the soul portraits, it's going to be in the art section of my my website. It's not going to be in the. It's not reading. I have other custom arts too, mandalas or mandalas. I don't know why I want to call them mandalas, but I do. And different things. So go to, you'll see the link below, but vickieverlie.com is always the way, no matter what. If you want readings, you want whatever, only go there, not through any kind of, instant message or DM, messages. That's not me, okay? This is the only way to get to me. All right, so I hope you liked the mid-month. You guys have to let me know how you liked it, and that's all for now. More later. Bye.